Hi, this is TX Windfall, and I'm here with...
Lil Windfall.
And we're here to clean up this bed today. There are 4 3x3 sections that we're going to clean up and weed and turn the dirt over. And we're going to get ready to plant peas and...
onions.
And today we're going to get it all cleaned up. And we're going to show you a little bit how we are going to clean it up, and we're going to show you how we're going to plant the peas and how we're going to plant the onions. Okay, one of the things we're going to use to clean these beds out with and to weed, rather than bending over and spending all kinds of time on our hands and knees pulling up these things, back-breaking work, we're going to use this. This is called, some call it an action hoe, it's been called an American hoe, or it's been called a stirrup hoe. All I know is it works, and it's a lot easier than pulling them out by hand. It's real simple. Lil Windfall is going to demonstrate. You just take the hoe, put it on the ground, peel underneath the weeds, pulls them up by the roots or cuts them off at the roots. And then all you have to do is, once you've got that done, is use a rake and rake out the green, and then turn the soil and you're ready to go. But it's really simple to use, real easy to use, and it's a great tool to have around. Alright, here we are. Now that we've gotten the beds all cleaned out and all the weeds out of it, I'm going to show you how soft this dirt is. All you got to do is bring in, put your hand, and it goes right in there. Push your fingers straight down in like a knife. It's nice soft dirt. Flatten it back out again there. Be perfect for planting. We're going to plant some peas. We're going to plant some onions. Cut. Cut. There you go. One of the things that we need to do before we get ready to plant the peas is to soak them. Now, I've heard two schools of thought. One says soak them, it helps in the germination process, and the other says it really doesn't matter. Although I have found that soaking them seems to work. So what we're going to do is put some seeds in a bowl, add some more seeds to it, peas to it.
Sounds like cereal.
And then we're going to pour some distilled water over the top of them, cover them with water, and then let them soak. Usually want to let them soak overnight. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you notice, for planting the peas, I have got these green stakes all along the beds, and I'll be attaching some green netting to them to help the peas climb up. And to plant the peas, my goal is to just take a 1x stake, an old stake, and we're just going to make a small, not too deep, furrow between the fence pickets, the green metal fence rows. So just take this stake, put it in the ground, make a nice little furrow to plant the peas in, and we'll just go down to the next one and do the same thing. Make a nice little furrow. Sorry about the camera. This is my first time trying to do this one-handed. My cameraman, Lil Windfall, took off on me, so I'm doing it by myself. So you get the idea, and I'll just continue on down the row. So now that we've got that done, I'll be getting the seeds and planting them about 1 inch apart down this whole row here, and then we'll be covering them up. In the past I've covered them up just with the soil, but I'm going to try something new this year. Somebody had suggested using some coarse sand to cover them with. It says it's easier for them to come up through the ground. So I'm going to give that a try. Let me know what you think. Just put it in the comment box below, and let's see what you think, and maybe we can help each other. Thanks. Okay, as you can see, I've got the yellow candy onions all planted, and then down the last 2 bins are the red candy onions. or as they say, red candy apple onions. Probably the way I plant them is I put them barely into the ground, just enough so they stand up. In other words, not trying to bury them too deep or too shallow. I understand that's a better way, helps keep them, the bulbs, growing well. And so now that they're in the ground, the next step is putting in the peas. Okay, we're putting in the peas. We've let the peas soak overnight, well, for several hours anyway. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the peas in the furrow that we made about 1 inch apart. Now, if for some reason we get 100% germination, which is not likely to happen, but if we do, what we can do, is just thin them out by hand later on. So we're going to put these peas in, and we're going to continue on down the furrow all the way down to the end.
And it doesn't matter if there's two together. It doesn't really matter.
We can always thin them out later.
Yeah.
Okay, now somebody had told me that it's easier to cover the peas with a coarse sand. That'll help them come up through the soil easier. I've never tried it before, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm just going to come over and put a light layer over the top of these peas. Just continue that on down the row. So I'll show you a shot when it's all done.
Hey YouTubers, this is Lil Windfall. So we put the sand over the peas, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And I don't know if you're supposed to put more or less. Doesn't really matter. No.
Lightly cover.
Lightly cover, so not compacted. That needs to be light and fluffy. So hope you have good luck. Ting.
That's all for this week.
It's all for this week.
Next week is beets.
Next week is beets and bucket garden.
Okay, well, we finished with the onions, both yellow candy onions and red candy apple onions. We've put on our peas. Later we'll be putting up the netting for the peas after they sprout. If you like this video, please subscribe. Next week we're going to be covering beets, planting some beets, and also show you how to make a self-watering bucket for your bucket garden. Please subscribe if you like this video.